Hello there. It is time to let go of the day. Whatever noise, whatever rush, whatever bright lights filled your waking hours, they are far behind you now. You have arrived at the shore of the night. Here, there are no deadlines. There are no expectations. There is only the velvet darkness, the cool air, and the vast, comforting rhythm of the universe. I want you to get comfortable. Adjust your pillow. Feel the weight of your blankets settling over you. Like a warm, protective layer. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Unclench your jaw. Let your hands rest open. Soft and heavy. Close your eyes. Imagine, if you will, that you are standing on the edge of a vast, sleeping ocean. The sand beneath you is cool and firm, packed tight by the receding water. The air smells of salt and deep, clean distance. Above you, the sky is not black, but a deep, rich indigo, dusted with the faint glimmer of ancient stars. But the most important light comes from the moon. It hangs there, full and round, a perfect circle of pale calm. It does not burn like the sun. It does not demand your attention. It simply glows, bathing the world in a soft, silver varnish. Tonight, we are going to talk about that moon and the water that stretches out before you. We are going to talk about the invisible embrace between them, but we will not speak of math or calculations or cold physics. We will speak of the breath of the planet, the slow, eternal rise and fall that rocks the cradle of the earth. So, take a deep breath in, filling your lungs just as the tide fills the bay. Hold it for a gentle moment and release, letting the air flow out just as the water recedes back into the deep. Drift with me now. Look out at the horizon in your mind's eye. The ocean is dark, a mirror of obsidian glass, rolling slowly. But right down the center, leading from the horizon all the way to your feet, is a path of light, the moon's reflection. It looks like a bridge of hammered silver, dancing and shivering on the waves. Every time a wave rises, it catches the moonlight, turning the crest into a string of pearls. When the wave crashes, the foam glows white, a brief flash of luminescence before sinking back into the dark. For thousands of years, humans have stood exactly where you are standing now. Before there were telescopes, before there were satellites, our ancestors stood on these beaches and looked up. They saw the same moon. They felt the same cool breeze. They noticed something miraculous. They noticed that the ocean was alive. They saw that the water did not stay still. Twice a day, it would creep up the sand, swallowing the rocks, filling the tide pools, lifting the boats. And twice a day, it would retreat, revealing the hidden treasures of the sea. To the ancients, this wasn't gravity. It was breathing. They believed the earth was a great, slumbering giant, and like any living thing, it had to breathe. The rising water was the Earth's chest expanding, taking in a massive, cosmic breath. The falling water was the Earth exhaling, relaxing, sinking back into a peaceful state of rest. And they were right. In a way, it is a breath, it is a pulse. When you look at the moon tonight, do not see a rock in space. See it as a conductor, a silent, gentle conductor of an orchestra made of water. It stands there, 250,000 miles away, and with nothing but its presence, it asks the oceans to dance. Let's drift deeper into this mystery. We often hear the word gravity. It sounds heavy. It sounds technical. We are taught that gravity is a force that pulls, a force that drags things down. But tonight, I want you to reimagine gravity. In the language of the cosmos, gravity is not a chain. It is not a cage. Gravity is a longing. It is a connection. It is the desire of two objects to be near each other. Think of the bond between a mother and a child, or the invisible magnetism between two lovers across a crowded room. There is no rope tying them together, yet they are drawn to one another. They lean toward each other. They orient themselves toward each other. This is the relationship between the Earth and the Moon. The Earth is heavy, stable, solid. The Moon is lighter, drifting, watching. But they are bound together by this invisible affection. They are holding hands across the vacuum of space. The Earth is wrapped in a blanket of blue water. This water is fluid, flexible, and free to move. And because water is free, it is the first thing to respond to the Moon's presence. Imagine the water of the ocean feeling the Moon above it. It feels that gentle tug, not a yank, not a shove, just a whisper. The Moon whispers, "Come closer," and the water responds. It doesn't fly off the planet. It doesn't leave its home. It simply lifts itself up. It stretches. It bulges outward, reaching toward the sky, trying to get just a few feet closer to that silver face looking down on it. This is what creates the high tide. It is the ocean standing on its tiptoes, reaching up for a kiss. Stay with that image. The ocean standing on tiptoes. Now, bring your awareness back to the beach in your mind. The tide is coming in. Listen to the sound. Whoosh, hush. It is the slowest rhythm in the world. A wave curls over a heavy cylinder of water and collapses onto the sand. Crash, cess. The foam rushes up the beach, sliding over the cool sand. Bubbling and fizzing, it reaches a high point, pauses for a heartbeat, and then slides back down, dragging pebbles and shells with it. The sound of the retreating water is a soft rattle, like thousands of tiny marbles rolling together. Then a pause, silence, and then the next wave begins to form. But with every wave, the water creeps a little higher. The line of foam moves inch by inch up the shore. If you were to lie still on this beach for an hour, you would see the water swallowing the dry sand. You would see it surrounding the rocks that were once dry. This is the earth inhaling. Imagine your own chest now. Place your hand on your heart if you wish, or just feel the sensation. When you breathe in, your ribs expand, your chest rises. There is a feeling of fullness, of opening up. That is what the ocean is doing right now under the moon. The gravity of the moon is lifting the water, causing the chest of the ocean to rise. The depth of the sea increases. Harbors become deeper. Estuaries fill with salty, fresh potential. It is a moment of nourishment. The ocean is drinking in the influence of the moon. It happens so slowly that if you watch it, you can barely see it change. It takes hours. Nature never hurries. The tide does not rush. It knows it has all the time in the world. It pushes forward, gently, relentlessly, softly conquering the shore, only to surrender it again later. There is a lesson for us in this. We spend our days rushing. We run from task to task, thought to thought. We feel we must force things to happen, but the tide achieves great things without effort. It moves billions of tons of water. It reshapes coastlines. It carries ships, and it does so without a single moment of stress. It simply follows the rhythm. It follows the attraction. It surrenders to the pull. Drift. Allow yourself to surrender to your own pull now, the pull of sleep. Gravity is working on you too, but this is the gravity of the earth. It is hugging you against your bed. It is saying, I have you. You are safe. You can let go. Feel your body sinking into the mattress, heavy, warm, supported. Just as the ocean is held by the shores, you are held by your bed. Just as the water is rocked by the moon, you are rocked by the gentle spin of the earth. Let us look back at the water one more time before we drift deeper. The moon has climbed a little higher in the sky. The path of silver light on the water has shifted, tracking the moon's movement. The light seems to penetrate deep below the surface, below the waves. In the deep, quiet dark, the fish and the whales and the slow-moving creatures of the deep can feel the change too. They feel the water getting lighter, lifted by the invisible hand. They feel the current shifting. It is a lullaby that vibrates through the liquid itself. Everything is connected. The rock of the moon connects to the water of the earth. The water connects to the land. The land connects to you. You are part of this system. You are made mostly of water. After all, perhaps that is why we feel such peace by the ocean. Perhaps the salt in our blood remembers the salt in the sea. Perhaps your own inner tides are quieting down now, in sympathy with the great, slow breathing of the world. The visual beauty of the night is fading into a soft blur. The sharp lines of the horizon are softening. The sparkle of the moonlight is becoming a gentle, glowing haze in your mind. The tide is high now. The breath is fully drawn in. The ocean holds this breath. This is called the slack tide. The moment of stillness between rising and falling. The pendulum has swung all the way to one side, and for a fleeting, magical moment, it hangs there suspended in time. No movement in, no movement out. Perfect balance, perfect peace. This is where I want you to rest, in this moment of suspension, floating, weightless, held by the gentle gravity of a friendly universe. Let your mind float upwards. Leave the beach behind for a moment. Float up through the clouds, through the thin atmosphere, until you are hovering in the quiet stillness of space. From here, everything is silent. The noise of the world is gone. In front of you, floating in the velvet dark, is the earth. It glows like a blue marble, wrapped in white swirls. It looks peaceful. It looks like home, and far away, about 250,000 miles away, hangs the moon. A gray, silent sentinel. To understand the gentleness of the tides, we must first understand this distance. It is hard for our minds to grasp. If you could drive a car straight upwards, driving day and night at highway speeds, it would take you nearly half a year to reach the moon. It is a vast, lonely gap. If you shouted across this gap, no sound would travel. If you shined a flashlight, the beam would take over a second just to cross the divide. And yet, despite this massive silence, despite this freezing void, the earth and the moon are touching. They are constantly touching. They are locked in an embrace that has lasted for billions of years. Imagine two dancers on a darkened stage. They are far apart, at opposite ends of the room. They do not touch with their hands. They do not speak, but they are looking at each other. They are moving in perfect synchronization. When one steps forward, the other steps back. They are connected by a shared rhythm, a shared awareness. The bond between them is invisible, but it is as real as a steel cable. This is the nature of the bond between our planet and its satellite. It is a relationship of pure devotion. The moon never looks away. It keeps the same face pointed toward us, eternally watching, eternally waiting. And the earth, in turn, keeps the moon close, refusing to let it wander off into the dark, lonely depths of the solar system. This connection is what we call gravity. But the word gravity feels too clinical for tonight. Let us call it affection. Let us call it belonging. The moon belongs to the earth belongs to the moon, and the ocean, the sensitive, fluid, moving ocean, feels this belonging more than anything else. Long ago, before we understood this silent bond, humans looked at the sea and felt afraid. They saw the water rise and swallow the land, and they did not know why. In the Nordic lands, legends spoke of a giant serpent Jar Mungendra, who encircled the entire world, biting his own tail. They believed that when the serpent shifted his weight or took a deep breath, the oceans would displace, causing the tides to rush in. In other cultures, they believed in a giant crab that lived at the bottom of the sea. Twice a day, the crab would leave its cave to hunt, pushing the water out of its way, and twice a day it would return, letting the water fall back. They thought the movement came from below. They thought it came from monsters or gods or beasts dwelling in the deep darkness. It is a scary thought, something lurking beneath the waves, pushing the water up. But the truth, the scientific truth, is so much more peaceful. The water is not being pushed from below by a monster. It is being lifted from above by a friend. It is a gentle invitation. The moon stands over the ocean and simply whispers. It offers a hand, and the water, light and free, reaches up to take it. There is no force involved. There is no violence. There is only a surrender to the attraction. Let this truth settle into your mind like a stone settling into the sand. The universe is not a place of chaotic monsters. It is a place of order. It is a place of silent agreements. The water rises because it is loved by the moon. It falls because it is loved by the earth. It is caught in a tug of war of affection, rocked back and forth between two parents who both want to hold it close. Let us try to visualize this invisible bond. How can something pull without touching? Imagine you are preparing your bed for sleep. You take a heavy, soft blanket, perhaps a weighted blanket, and you spread it out tight. Now, imagine placing a heavy bowling ball right in the center of that blanket. What happens? The fabric dips. It curves. It creates a cradle, a deep depression in the center. Now, imagine taking a smaller ball, a tennis ball, perhaps, and placing it on the edge of the blanket. It doesn't sit still. It rolls. It follows the curve of the fabric, rolling down toward the heavy ball in the center. It isn't being pulled by a string. It is simply following the shape of the blanket. It is settling into the comfort of the curve. This is how Albert Einstein, a man who spent his life dreaming about the universe, described gravity. He said that space is not empty. Space is a fabric. It is a cosmic sheet, and heavy things, like the earth, sit in this fabric and create a comfortable curve. We are all resting in the curve of the earth. You, right now, lying in your bed, you are not being pulled down by a harsh force. You are simply resting in the curve that the earth has made in the fabric of space. You are sliding gently toward the center of the planet. But your bed catches you. The moon, too, is rolling along this curve. It is trying to roll toward the earth, to be closer to us, but it is moving so fast sideways that it circles around and around, like a marble rolling around the rim of a bowl. It is a perpetual fall, a fall that never lands, a fall that becomes a flight. This is a soothing thought. To be in orbit, like the moon, is to be constantly falling, but never hitting the ground. It is the ultimate state of surrender. You don't have to steer. You don't have to use an engine. You just have to let the curve of space carry you. The invisible bond is this fabric. It is smooth. It is continuous. It wraps around everything. It wraps around the earth. It wraps around the moon. It wraps around you. Feel that fabric now. It is the air around you. It is the darkness behind your eyes. It is the sense of stability that keeps you from floating away. Drift deeper now. We have spoken of the fabric. Now let us speak of the feeling. The bond between earth and moon is not static. It is alive because the moon is moving. The bond is moving. Imagine a magnetic hum, a low, vibrating resonance that you cannot hear with your ears, but you can feel with your bones. As the moon circles the earth, it drags this magnetic hum with it. It passes over the continents. It passes over the mountains. It passes over the cities where millions of people are sleeping. And it passes over the oceans. Solid rock is stubborn. The continents do not move much when the moon calls to them. The mountains are too heavy, too rigid to dance. They might shift a tiny fraction of an inch, which they do, but they largely sleep through the music. But the water is different. The water is fluid. It is yielding. It is soft. When that invisible bond passes over the Pacific Ocean, the water feels the weight of the moon directly overhead. The water molecules, billions upon billions of them, all feel the same tiny, gentle urge. Come up, the moon says. Come this way. And because water is liquid, it flows. It doesn't break. It flows. It piles up. It gathers together from miles around to greet the moon. It creates a bulge, a mountain of water, very wide and very flat, rising up from the sea level. And because the earth is spinning, turning its back to the moon, and then facing it again, this mountain of water travels. It travels across the ocean like a slow, massive wave. It is a wave that takes half a day to pass. Think about that slow movement. We are used to waves that crash every few seconds. Crash, crash. But the tide is a wave with a rhythm of 12 hours. It is so slow that if you were swimming in the deep ocean, you wouldn't even know you were rising. You would simply be lifted gently, imperceptibly, closer to the stars, and then lowered back down. The invisible bond is gentle. It never jerks. It never rushes. It treats the ocean with infinite care. This is how we should treat ourselves when we are trying to sleep. We often try to force sleep. We try to grab it, to pull it down. But sleep is like the tide. You cannot force the tide. You can only wait for it. You can only lie on the shore and wait for the water to come to you. The invisible bond of sleep is already there, pulling at the corners of your mind. It is calling to you, come down. It says, come deep, rest. Let your imagination soften. The details of the science are melting away, leaving only the feeling. Visualize the space between the earth and the moon not as black, but as a web of shimmering silver threads, billions of tiny, gossamer threads connecting the two spheres. When the moon moves, the threads tighten, they hum, they stroke the surface of the earth like a soft brush. These threads pass through the roof of your house. They pass through the walls. They are subtle. They connect you to the rhythm of the universe. You are not isolated in this room. You are part of the great, slow clockwork of the galaxy. Your breathing is part of it. Your heartbeat is part of it. Your heaviness is part of it. That invisible bond is holding you right now. It is ensuring that you don't float off into the cold void. It is grounding you. Gravity is the earth's way of hugging you. Feel the hug. Feel the mattress pressing up against you. That is the earth saying, I have you. Feel the blanket pressing down. That is the air, the atmosphere, settling over you. You are sandwiched between safety and comfort. The moon is overhead, or perhaps underfoot. On the other side of the world, pulling gently, balancing out the heaviness, a perfect equilibrium. A perfect balance of forces, tension and release, pull and let go. Let us travel back to the open ocean, far away from the land, out where the water is deep and dark blue. The moon is directly overhead, because the moon is there, holding the earth in its gravity. The water responds. The ocean is not flat. We think of sea level as a flat line, but tonight, the sea is not level. It is curved. Under the moon, the ocean is being lifted. It is bulging upward. Imagine a massive, gentle hill made of water. It is not a wave that crashes. It is too big to crash. It is a lens of water, hundreds of miles wide, rising slowly toward the stars. The moon acts like a magnet. It pulls the water molecules up, stacking them on top of each other. The ocean creates a pillow of water right there in the middle of the sea. And because the earth is spinning beneath this pillow, the hill of water appears to move. It travels across the surface of the planet. This is the tidal bulge. This is the inhale. Imagine you are a bird, flying high above the Pacific. You look down, and you see this vast, silent mound of water moving slowly westward. It moves with the certainty of time. Nothing can stop it. It carries a tremendous weight, trillions of tons of water, but it carries it lightly. It is majestic. It is quiet. It is the definition of power without aggression. The water simply expands. Now, let us move to the coastline. The hill of water is approaching the land. If you were standing on the beach, You wouldn't see a wall of water coming at you. You would see something much more subtle. You would see the change happen in inches. Listen to the sound of the surf. Whoosh, hush. At low tide, the sound is distant. It is thin. The waves break far out on the sandbars. But as the inhale begins, the sound changes. It becomes deeper. It becomes fuller. It moves closer to your ears. Watch the water creeping up the sand. There is a dry rock sticking out of the sand, gray and warm from the sun of the day. The first wave rushes up and touches the base of the rock. The water darkens the stone. Then it retreats. The next wave comes a little closer. It wraps around the rock. It hugs the stone, bubbling softly as it fills the cracks and crevices. The third wave covers the rock entirely. The rock is now submerged. It has been embraced by the ocean. It is resting under a blanket of cool, clear water. This is the nature of the high tide. It is an embrace. It is the ocean saying, I will cover you. I will protect you. I will hide you. Think of how safe that feels. To be covered, to be hidden, just as you pull your duvet up to your chin. When you sleep, the ocean pulls its water up the beach. It covers the jagged rocks. It covers the sharp shells. It covers the seaweed. It smooths everything out. When the tide is high, the world looks simpler. The messy details of the shore are gone. There is only a smooth, unbroken surface of water reflecting the moonlight. It is a time of fullness, a time of completion. Let your mind drift to a quiet harbor. Imagine a small fishing village. The boats are tied to wooden docks. At low tide, the boats look tired. They sit low, sometimes resting on the mud at the bottom of the harbor. They tilt to the side, heavy and grounded. Their ropes hang loose and slack. But here comes the inhale. Slowly, steadily, the water enters the mouth of the harbor. It creates a current, a river of salt water flowing inland. The water rises around the hulls of the boats. Gently, the boats begin to lift. They right themselves. They stand up straight. They begin to float. Feel that sensation of floating in your own body. Imagine the bed lifting you. Imagine the heaviness of your legs being supported by water. The boats do not have to do anything. They do not struggle. They do not turn on their engines. They simply allow the water to lift them. They surrender to the buoyancy. The ropes that were slack now begin to tighten gently. Creak, creak. The sound of wood rubbing against wood. The sound of water lapping against the hull. The harbor is full now. The water is deep. It reaches all the way to the top of the wooden pylons. It creates a bridge between the land and the sea. This is the peak of the breath. The lungs are full. The water brings gifts with it. It brings fresh oxygen. It brings tiny plankton and nutrients. It refreshes the stagnant pools. It washes away the dust of the land. It is a cleansing breath. When you sleep tonight, think of your sleep as this high tide. Let the sleep flow into you like the water flows into the harbor. Let it fill the empty spaces in your mind. Let it lift your heavy thoughts and float them away. Let it wash over the rocks of your worries, covering them, smoothing them, making them disappear under a calm surface. There is a specific kind of silence that comes with high tide. When the tide is low, there is noise. Birds are hunting in the mud. The water is churning far away. But when the tide is high, the birds rest. The mud is gone. The waves are breaking right at the edge of the grass or the sea wall. So there is no echo. The sound is muffled, heavy, thick. It is the sound of a full room. This is the slack tide at the top of the high water. The water stops rising. It hasn't started falling yet. It just sits there. It is swollen with gravity. Imagine the earth holding its breath. The chest is fully expanded. The ribs are stretched comfortably. For 20, 30, 40 minutes, the water stays high. It is a moment of pure potential. It is a moment of suspension. The moon looks down at its handiwork. It sees the reflection of its own face in the deep, still water that has filled the bays. Everything is heavy. The water is heavy. The air is heavy with moisture. Your eyelids are heavy. This heaviness is not a burden. It is a blanket. It presses you down, grounding you. It feels good to be full. It feels good to be complete. You don't need anything else right now. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to solve any problems. The harbor is full. The work is done. Let's go even deeper. Let S shrink down to the size of a tiny drop of water. In this drop, molecules are sliding past each other. They are fluid. They have no shape of their own. They take the shape of the container they are in. Right now, their container is the gravity of the moon. They are happy to move. They are happy to join the great procession of the tide. There is no resistance in water. Water always finds the path of least resistance. When you are trying to sleep, be like the water. Don't be the rock that resists the wave. Be the wave. Be the molecule that slides. If a thought comes into your mind, flow around it. Cover it. If a sound disturbs you, flow over it. Let your mind be fluid. The tide does not judge the shore. It covers the beautiful sand and the sharp rocks equally. Your sleep does not judge your day. It covers your successes and your failures equally. It buries them all under the soothing weight of rest. The inhale is complete. The earth is full. Feel the satisfaction of that fullness. It is a deep, resonant hum in the center of your being. Picture a grand ballroom. The floor is made of polished black marble, endless and smooth. This is the fabric of space. Scattered across this floor are tiny diamonds, the distant stars shining cold and clear. In the center of this floor are two dancers. One is large and blue and swirled with white clouds, the earth. One is smaller, silent, and gray, the moon. They are holding hands. We know this now. That invisible bond of gravity we spoke of, that is their clasped hands. They lean away from each other, trusting that the grip will hold, balancing each other's weight. But here is the secret of the dance. They are moving at different speeds. The earth is energetic. It likes to pirouette. It turns around and around on its toes. Once every 24 hours. It wants to show its face to the sun, then hide it in shadow, then show it again. Day, night, day, night. The moon is different. The moon is patient. It moves with a slow, deliberate grace. It circles the earth, but it takes its time. It takes nearly a month to complete one circle around the ballroom. So, we have a fast spinner and a slow walker. Think about what this does to the water. The water wants to stay with the moon. Remember, the water is in love with the moon. It creates that bulge, that high tide, directly under the moon's gaze. It piles up to be near its partner, but the earth underneath the water is spinning fast. It is dragging the continents away from the moon. It is pulling the beaches out from under the water. This creates the rhythm. Imagine the high tide as a spotlight shining on the stage. The spotlight, the moon's gravity, moves very slowly, but the actors, the continents, are moving quickly across the stage. As your coastline spins into the spotlight, the water rises, the high tide. As your coastline spins out of the spotlight, the water falls, the low tide. It is not the water that is rushing in and out. It is you who are passing through the water. You are riding on the surface of the earth, and you are being carried into the bulge of the ocean, and then carried out again. You are rotating into the wave. There is a wonderful texture to this dance, a feeling of contact. We call it friction. Usually, we think of friction as something harsh, brakes screeching, sandpaper rubbing. But in the context of the tides, friction is soft. It is like silk rubbing against silk. Imagine the earth is wearing a long, heavy velvet dress. That dress is the ocean. As the earth spins, the moon holds onto the hem of that dress. The moon gently tugs at the velvet fabric. Slow down, the moon whispers. Wait for me. The earth keeps spinning, but the water drags across the ocean floor. It brushes against the sandbars. It swirls around the islands. It filters through the dense forests of kelp. This drag acts like a brake. It is a very gentle brake, but it is there because the tides are constantly pulling back against the spin of the earth. Our planet is actually slowing down. Every year, the day gets a tiny fraction of a second longer. Millions of years ago, a day was only 20 hours long. The earth was spinning faster, more excitedly, but the moon has been there calm and steady, soothing the earth, slowing it down, lengthening the day, stretching out the time. It is as if the moon is saying, there is no rush, rest, take your time. Feel that breaking sensation now in your own body. Imagine the spinning of your mind, the thoughts whirling around plans for tomorrow, memories of today, lists of things to do. Now imagine the moon's gravity gently touching those thoughts, a velvet hand resting on a spinning top. It adds a little bit of friction. It creates a little bit of drag, and slowly, ever so slowly, the spinning calms, the wobble steadies, the frantic energy turns into a slow, rhythmic sway. You are slowing down. Your heart rate is matching the rhythm of the waltz. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, drifting, turning, drifting. One of the most comforting things about the tides is their predictability in a world that is often chaotic, where we don't know what will happen next week or even tomorrow morning. The tides are a promise kept. If you were to open a book of tide tables, you could see exactly what time the water will be high on this day. 10 years from now, you could see exactly how low the water was on the day you were born. The dance never misses a beat. It is a clockwork mechanism made of water and gravity. Tick, tock, high, low, in, out. There is a profound safety in this. You do not have to manage the ocean. You do not have to remind the water to come back. It happens because it must happen. It is written into the deep laws of physics. Surrender to this certainty. There are things in your life you cannot control. Yes, but you don't have to control everything. The big things, the orbit of the planet, the rising of the sun, the beating of your heart while you sleep are taken care of for you. You are a passenger. Tonight, you can resign from your job as the general manager of the universe. You can hand the keys over to gravity. Gravity knows the way. The moon knows the steps to the dance. Let yourself be carried by the momentum of the spheres. Let us visualize this wave one more time as it moves across the map of the world, because the earth is spinning towards the east. The tide travels towards the west. Imagine the Atlantic Ocean. The high tide arrives in Europe first. It bathes the coast of Portugal, filling the rocky coves with foam. Then, as Europe spins away, the high tide seems to travel across the vast, dark Atlantic. It rolls over the mid-Atlantic ridge, the underwater mountain range that no human eye has ever seen. It reaches the islands of the Caribbean, lifting the turquoise water gently against the white sand, and finally, it arrives at the shores of America. It is a wave thousands of miles long, but it interacts with the land in such interesting ways. When this massive wave hits a continent, it swirls. It is like water sloshing in a bathtub. It flows around the edges. This creates the currents. the Gulf Stream, the Kuroshio, the great rivers within the sea, they are all powered by this dance, this difference in temperature and spin. Imagine the water moving through a forest of underwater kelp. The long green ribbons of seaweed are anchored to the floor. When the tide pulls, the ribbons lean over. They stream out in the current, waving slowly like hair floating in a bath. Fish hide in the shadows of the kelp. They don't sea swim against the tide. They ride it. Nature is smart. Nature conserves energy. When the tide goes out, the crabs scuttle down the beach to find shelter. When the tide comes in, the barnacles open their tiny shells to feed. Everyone knows the rhythm. Everyone follows the waltz. Your body knows it too. You are made of water. Your cells remember the ancient ocean. Deep inside your biological clock, there is a tiny pendulum that swings with the moon. It tells you when to rest. It tells you when to wake. Right now, it is telling you to rest. It is pointing towards the low tide of your energy, the time to recede, the time to retreat into your shell. There is one last detail about this dance that is wonderfully human. The water is heavy, and because it is heavy, it is a little bit lazy. It has inertia. When the moon passes overhead, it calls to the water, "Rise up!" But the water takes a moment to respond. It takes time for that much mass to get moving. So, the high tide doesn't happen exactly when the moon is overhead. It happens a little bit later. It lags behind. It is always just a little bit late to the party. There is a forgiveness in this lag. The universe does not demand instant obedience. It allows for a pause. It allows for a reaction time. The moon pulls, the earth spins, and the water follows, trailing behind like a long, flowing cape. This creates a gentle torque, a soft, twisting motion. It is not a rigid lock. It is a fluid, flexible relationship. Be forgiving with yourself tonight. If sleep doesn't come the instant your head hits the pillow, that is okay. You are like the ocean. You have inertia. It takes time to slow down the momentum of the day. It takes time for the high tide of your thoughts to recede. Allow for the lag. Accept the pause. The sleep will come. It is pulling on you now, and your body will respond in its own time. You are drifting beautifully. We have watched the moon rise. We have felt the water lift to greet it. We have spun in the great ballroom of space. But now, I want to take you on a journey through the dark. Imagine that your mind can travel freely. Imagine sinking down through your bed, through the floor, through the soil, deep into the crust of the earth. We are going to travel straight through the center of the planet, down through the layers of ancient rock, down through the heat of the mantle, through the solid iron core where the magnetic heart of the world beats in silence, and then up the other side. We emerge on the opposite side of the world. If the moon is shining on you right now, then on this side, it is the dark of the moon. The sky here is empty of the silver face. The stars are bright and unimpeded. The ocean here is looking out into the deep, black void of space, away from the moon. And yet, and this is the miracle, the water is rising here, too. It is a beautiful mystery. If gravity is pulling the water toward the moon on one side, why does the water rise on the other side, where there is no moon to pull it? Why is there a high tide in the shadow? It is the echo. It is the universe seeking balance. It is the water stretching out its arms to hold the world steady. Let us float here, on the far side of the world, and understand this silent phenomenon. Do you remember playing as a child? Do you remember holding hands with a friend and spinning around in a circle? You lean back. They lean back. Your arms are straight. You feel a force pulling you outward, away from the center. The moon and the earth are doing this right now. They are not just sitting still. They are swinging each other around, because the earth is much bigger. It doesn't move much, but it does move. It wobbles. It leans toward the moon. The moon pulls the earth close, like a dancer pulling their partner in for a dip. But the water on the far side, the water on the back of the earth, is left behind. It feels that spinning force. It feels the desire to fly outward. This is not a force of attraction. It is a force of freedom. The water on the moon side is being pulled up. The water on the far side is being thrown up. It is a gentle throw, a loosening of the grip. Gravity is weaker here because the moon is so far away. The earth is being pulled away from the water, leaving the ocean to bulge out into the darkness. Think of it as a great stretch. When you wake up in the morning, you stretch your arms out to the sides. You reach in both directions at once. You don't just reach left, you reach right too. The earth is stretching. It is elongating. It creates a shape like a football or a slightly squashed balloon. One end reaches for the moon, the other end reaches for the void, and you, the sleeper, are riding somewhere in between, rocked by this symmetry. There is something deeply soothing about symmetry. We love things to be balanced. Two eyes, two hands, two lungs breathing in unison. The tides are the earth's way of maintaining that balance. If the water only rose on one side, the planet would wobble. It would be lopsided. It would limp through space. But the universe loves a perfect circle, or, in this case, a perfect oval. So, for every high tide you see, there is a ghost tide on the other side of the world. An echo, a reflection in the dark. Think about this when you adjust your pillow. You look for the cool side. You turn over. You are balancing your own body. If you have been lying on your left side, you roll to your right. You equalize the pressure. The earth is doing the same for its oceans. Every 12 hours, the tide swaps sides. The echo becomes the reality. The reality becomes the echo. It is a pendulum that swings through the very center of the planet. Tick-tock, near, far, light, dark. There is no favoritism in gravity. The dark ocean gets just as much high water as the bright ocean. The hidden places are nourished just as much as the seen places. Let us linger on this far side tide for a moment. The tide under the moon feels heavy. It feels magnetized. It is answering a call. But the tide on the far side feels different. It feels like letting go. Imagine you are in a car that accelerates quickly. You are pressed back into your seat. That is inertia. That is the feeling of the far tide. It is the water resting in its own weight, refusing to be hurried by the earth. The earth moves toward the moon, and the water says, "No, I will stay here a moment longer. I will drift back." It is the tide of hesitation, the tide of the pause. Drift into that feeling, the feeling of not following the crowd, the feeling of staying behind in the quiet when everyone else has rushed forward. There is a solitude here that is perfect for sleep. You don't have to chase the moon. You can just float in the dark, held up by your own momentum. The water on the far side is not looking for a partner. It is looking for space. It expands into the emptiness. It claims the room it needs. Claim your space now. Stretch your legs to the bottom of the bed. Push your feet against the cool sheets. Claim the far side of your mattress. Feel how good it is to expand. Visualize the earth now, not as a hard rock, but as a soft, tufted pillow. When you fluff a pillow, you push the sides in, and the middle puffs out. Or, if you squeeze the middle, the corners puff out. The earth is a pillow that is permanently fluffed at both ends. 2 bulges of water, 2 cushions of comfort. This means that no matter where you are on the shorelines of the world, you get 2 chances to rest. 2 high tides a day, one caused by the pull, one caused by the spin. The universe is generous. It does not give you just one opportunity to be cradled. It gives you a continuous cycle. If you missed the first tide, do not worry. The second one is coming. The echo is on its way. It arrives quietly. It fills the marshes. It lifts the driftwood. It rocks the sleeping seagulls. It creates a rhythm of 4 beats to the day. High, lie, low, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It is a heartbeat. Lub-dub, lub-dub, slowed down to the speed of mountains. Vi, the center of the seesaw. Now, I want to bring you back from the far side. Come back through the dark water. Back through the rock. Back to the center. Imagine you are resting exactly in the middle of the earth. Deep in the core. Here, gravity cancels itself out. The moon pulls you one way. The spin throws you the other way. And in the center, 0, total weightlessness. You are floating in the center of the seesaw. The two tides are the ends of the plank, going up and down, but you are the fulcrum. You are the pivot point. In this place, there is no movement. There is only a deep, abiding hum. The hum of the planet rotating around you. Feel that stillness in your own center. Somewhere, deep inside your chest, deep behind your thoughts, there is a place that never moves. The world spins around it. Emotions rise and fall like tides around it. Dreams come and go like waves. But the observer, the you inside, is still. You are the fulcrum. You can watch the tides without getting wet. You can watch the thoughts without thinking them. You can watch the sleep coming without grabbing it. Rest in the fulcrum. Balance the two sides, the light and the dark, the pull and the push, the day and the night. Imagine a straight line, a perfect, invisible thread drawn through the darkness of space. On one end of the thread is the sun. In the middle is the moon, and on the other end is the earth. Three celestial bodies standing in a perfect row. Soldiers in a cosmic line. Astronomers have a beautiful word for this. They call it syzygy. Syzygy. Say it softly in your mind. It sounds like a breeze moving through dry grass. Syzygy. It means yoked together. It means connected. When the universe lines up like this, which happens at the new moon, and the full moon, something magical happens to the water. The moon is pulling the ocean. We know this. But now, the sun is standing directly behind the moon, or directly opposite it, and it adds its weight. The sun says, I will help you. The moon says, let us pull together. It is a team effort. The two great parents of the sky are joining forces. They are grabbing the blanket of the ocean and pulling it in the same direction. This creates the spring tides. Do not think of the season of spring. Think of the water springing forth. Think of a fountain gushing up with extra energy. During these nights, the high tides are higher than usual. The low tides are lower than usual. The breath of the planet becomes deeper. Imagine you are taking a breath, a normal breath. Now, imagine someone you trust places a hand on your back and helps you breathe in just a little bit more. You expand, your ribs open wider than before. You take in the maximum amount of air, and then you exhale fully, emptying your lungs completely. This is the spring tide. It is the earth breathing at its maximum capacity. The water rushes up the beach, higher than it has been all month. It touches the dry grass at the top of the dunes. It floods the salt marshes that are usually dry. It brings water to the thirsty roots of the coastal trees. It is a time of abundance, a time of overflow, and then it retreats far, far out, revealing the ocean floor. The hidden shells, the secrets of the deep sand. Feel that extreme stretch in your own body. Stretch your mind to its limits. The sun and the moon are stretching you, pulling your relaxation deeper, making your rest fuller. You are being expanded. Let us pause to appreciate the gentleness of the sun's influence. The sun is massive, but it is respectful of the distance. If the sun were closer, its gravity would tear the water off the surface of our world. It would be chaotic. But because it is far away, its pull is merely a suggestion. It contributes about half as much pull as the moon. The moon is the conductor, waving the baton. The sun is the bass section, providing the rhythm. Think of how comforting that ratio is. 2-to-1, a dominant force and a supporting force. When the sun and moon align, the water feels a sense of purpose. There is no confusion. All the gravity is pointing the same way. Go up, they say. There is clarity in this alignment. There is no conflict in the sky tonight, just a unified, silent command. Allow your thoughts to align like the planets. Often, our minds are scattered. One thought pulls us to the past. Another thought pulls us to the future. Our worries pull us sideways. But tonight, let them all line up. Let every part of your mind point in one direction. Towards sleep, towards rest, towards the dark. Achieve your own personal syzygy. The alignment of body, breath, and mind, everything moving together, everything flowing in one straight, smooth line. But the planets do not stay in a straight line forever. The dance continues. The waltz moves on. A week passes. The moon has walked a quarter of the way around its path. Now, the picture changes. Imagine the earth in the center. The sun is to the south. The moon is to the east. They form a right angle, an lull shape, a corner. This is the time of the quarter moon, the half moon. Now, the gravity is confused. The moon pulls the water one way. Come here, it whispers. But the sun pulls the water the other way. No, come here, it hums. They are at cross purposes. They are working against each other. The moon tries to lift the tide. The sun tries to lower it. You might think this would create chaos. You might think the ocean would be turbulent. But nature is wise. Nature finds the average. The result is the neap tide. The word neap comes from an old word meaning without power or inactive. But I like to think of it as the peaceful tide. Because the sun and moon are canceling each other out, the water does not move much. The high tide is not very high. The low tide is not very low. The ocean becomes lazy. It stays in the middle. It refuses to go to extremes. It simply wobbles gently, like jelly in a bowl. This is a beautiful image for sleep, the moderation of energy. There are times in our lives for the spring tide, for high energy, for big emotions, for great productivity. But tonight feels like a neap tide night. The forces are balanced. The pull of the day, the sun, is fighting. The pull of the night, the moon, and they have reached a stalemate. And in that stalemate there is quiet. The water does not rush, it laps. Lap, lap, lap. A small, gentle sound. No crashing waves, no drama, just a soft, rhythmic rocking in the middle of the harbor. Imagine your own energy leveling out. You are not soaring high with excitement. You are not sinking low with sadness. You are floating in the calm middle. The neat state of mind, neutral, safe, balanced. The sun holds you from one side. The moon holds you from the other. You are suspended between them in a cradle of gravity. Even though the sun is on the other side of the earth, let's imagine its warmth for a moment. Not the burning heat of noon, but the residual warmth of a stone that has sat in the sun all day. Gravity acts like that warmth. It wraps around the curvature of the earth. The sun's gravity creates a very long wave. The sun's tide is 12 hours long, just like the moon's, but it has a different quality. It feels older. It feels slower. It reminds us that we are part of a much larger family. We are not just a moon-Earth couple. We are a solar system family. The sun is the grandfather, sitting in the center of the room, keeping watch. The planets are the children, running in circles. The moons are the grandchildren, spinning around the children. Everything is spinning, everything is falling, but the sun holds it all. The sun is the reason we done fly off into the cold, empty space between the stars. Feel that holding sensation. You are being held by the earth. The earth is being held by the sun. It is a nesting doll of safety, layer upon layer of gravity, layer upon layer of protection. You don't have to worry about the path of the planet. The sun has it handled. It has been holding the earth on its leash for 4 billion years. It hasn't dropped us yet. It won't drop us tonight. Think of the ocean as a choir. The water molecules are the singers. During the spring tide, the alignment. The sun and the moon act as choir directors, raising their hands together. The choir sings loud. The volume rises. The crescendo swells. The ocean roars with the power of the combined gravity. During the neap tide, the right angle. The directors lower their hands. They say, "Quiet now," softly. The choir drops to a hum, a gentle background murmur. This cycle happens twice a month. Loud, soft, loud, soft, expansion, contraction, moderation, release. Your life follows this rhythm too. You have weeks of high activity, weeks of spring tides, and you have weeks of low energy, weeks of neap tides. Do not fight the low tide. If you feel tired, if you feel like doing nothing, that is just your internal neap tide. It is the sun and the moon telling you to rest. It is the universe telling you that you don't always have to reach for the high marks. Sometimes, it is okay to just ripple gently in the middle. Tonight, embrace the neap tide. Be lazy, be heavy, Be slow. Let the water of your mind settle. Let the silt drift to the bottom. Let the surface become like glass. The sun is whispering to you from the other side of the world. I am here. I am holding the line. You can let go. Let us pull back even further now. See the solar system in your mind. The sun, a glowing ember in the center. The earth, a tiny blue speck, drifting slowly around it. The moon, a microscopic grain of dust, dancing around the speck. And on that speck is the ocean, a thin film of moisture, and in that ocean, the tide is rising. It seems so small from out here. The worries of the day seem microscopic. The things you forgot to do, the things you said, the things you regret. From the perspective of the sun, they are invisible. They are just tiny ripples in a tiny cup of water. The universe is too big to be worried about your to-do list. The universe is only interested in the rhythm. Are you spinning? Yes. Are you breathing? Yes. Then you are doing everything right. You are following the law of gravity. You are following the law of nature. The sun's whisper is a lullaby of perspective. It tells you that you are small, but you are part of the whole. You are made of stardust, resting on a rock, washed by the tides of a star. The tides are the oldest rhythm on earth, long before there were cities, long before there were forests, long before the first dinosaur walked on the mud. The tides were there. Can you imagine that? 4 billion years ago. The earth was young and hot. The moon was much closer then, hanging huge and terrifying in the sky. The tides were massive, rushing over the barren rock, scrubbing the face of the young planet, in and out, in and out, through the ice ages, through the fiery eruptions, through the drift of the continents. The rhythm never stopped, not once. It is the most reliable thing in existence. Think of how comforting that is. Civilizations rise and fall. Mountains are pushed up and worn down. Even the stars slowly change their positions. But the water always returns. It is a heartbeat that is too slow for us to hear, but we can feel it. It beats twice a day, lub, dub, high, low. By connecting with this rhythm tonight, you are connecting with something eternal. You are anchoring yourself to a process that will continue long after you wake up, long after this year, long after this century. Your worries are so small compared to this massive, ancient breathing. Let the size of the tides comfort you. The ocean is big enough to hold all your stress. Drop your worries into the water. Watch them sink. Watch them disappear into the deep, dark history of the sea. The tide will wash them away, scrubbing the shore clean, leaving a smooth, blank slate for your dreams. There is a secret about the tides that I have saved for the end. It is a little bit sad, but in a sweet, poetic way. Because of the friction we talked about, that velvet dress, dragging on the floor. The earth is slowing down. And because the earth is slowing down, the moon is slowly drifting away. Every year, the moon moves about 1.5 inches farther from us. It is spiraling out, very, very slowly. It is saying a long, long goodbye. The bond is loosening. The gravity is stretching. The moon is retreating into the darkness, taking its time, stepping backwards towards the stars. Billions of years from now, the moon will be a small dot. The days will be much longer. The tides will be gentle ripples, barely moving the sand. The universe is expanding. It is relaxing. It is letting go of the tension. I want you to mimic this great letting go. Imagine your own tension is like the moon. It has been orbiting you all day, but now let it drift away, inch by inch, breath by breath. Let it spiral out. Push it gently with your exhale. Goodbye, you say. Drift away. Watch the tension float off into the void. It gets smaller and smaller until it is just a speck, until it is gone. You are expanding into the empty space it left behind. You are becoming loose, unbound, free. Think about what the water does to a stone. If you pick up a rock on the beach, it is smooth, it is round, it feels cool and pleasing in your hand. It wasn't always that way. Once, it was jagged. It had sharp edges. It was broken, but the tide fixed it. The tide rolled it over, again and again. Thousands of times, millions of times, the water caressed the sharp edges until they disappeared. The friction polished the surface until it was soft. Sleep is your ocean. Your mind is the stone. During the day, our minds get jagged. We get sharp edges from stress, from arguments, from rushing. We feel rough and broken. But now comes the tide of sleep. It flows over you. It rolls you gently. It tumbles your thoughts. Feel the smoothing process happening right now. The sharp corners of your day are being worn down. The spike of anxiety smoothed away. The jagged edge of regret washed until it is round. You are becoming a river stone. Heavy, smooth, polished, resting at the bottom of a clear, quiet pool. The water flows over you, cool and healing. You don't have to do anything. You just have to lie there and let the current do the work. The water knows how to make you whole again. It has done it 1,000 nights before. It will do it tonight. You are not just watching the ocean. You are the ocean. Your body is 70% water. The blood in your veins has almost the same salt concentration as the ancient sea. You are a walking tide pool. Deep inside you, there are fluids moving. Your heart pumps a rhythmic wave. Your lungs expand and contract like the shoreline. Your brain is bathed in a fluid that rises and washes away toxins while you sleep. Tonight, synchronize your internal ocean with the external ocean. Imagine that your breath is the tide. As you inhale, the water rises in your body. It washes up to your shoulders, your neck, the top of your head. It brings oxygen. It brings peace. Inhale, rising. As you exhale, the water recedes. It flows down your arms, down your spine, down your legs, out through your toes. It carries away the heaviness. It carries away the noise. Exhale, falling, rising, and falling, washing in and washing out. Feel the water inside your head slowing down. The waves of your brain waves are getting longer, smoother, from the choppy, short waves of beta alertness, slowing down to the gentle alpha waves, slowing further into the deep, rolling theta waves, and finally, the massive, slow swells of delta sleep. You are calming the storm. You are flattening the sea, until the surface of your mind is a perfect mirror, reflecting the quiet stars. Let us cast off now. Imagine the rope that ties your boat to the dock. It is a thick, heavy rope. It represents your connection to the waking world. It represents your responsibilities, your name, your identity. But the tide is high. The boat is lifting. The rope is slipping off the wooden piling. Loop by loop, it uncoils. Slip, the rope falls into the water with a soft splash. You are untethered. The current catches the boat very gently. It turns the bow towards the horizon. You are drifting away from the land. Watch the shore recede. See the lights of the houses go out, one by one. See the outline of the trees fade into the mist. The land of doing is behind you. You are entering the land of being. There are no oars in your boat. There is no engine. You cannot steer, and you don't want to. You trust the tide. The tide knows exactly where to take you. It is taking you to the island of sleep. The water is purple and deep. The air is cool and smells of salt and stardust. The only sound is the water lapping against the wood. Lap, lap. You lie down in the bottom of the boat. You look up at the sky. The constellations are turning. The Great Bear, the Hunter, the Swan. They are rotating slowly, ticking off the seconds of eternity. You are safe in this vastness. You are small, but you are held. The gravity that holds the stars in place is holding you in your bed. As you drift further and further into the dark, I am going to count you down. We will count down from 10. With each number, the boat drifts deeper into the mist. With each number, the moon gets a little dimmer. The silence gets a little louder. With each number, your body becomes heavier, sinking into the mattress, sinking into the fabric of the universe. 10. The shore is gone now, just a faint line in the distance. The water is calm, glassy. Your legs are heavy. Your feet are asleep. 9. The air is still, not a breath of wind. The only movement is the slow rise and fall of your chest. Your hands are heavy, unclenched, open. 8. The stars are blurry. Your eyelids are so heavy you cannot keep them open. Let them close. Let the darkness wrap around you like a warm blanket. 7. The boat is rocking. Left, right, left, right. Soothed by the motion, your shoulders drop, your neck relaxes. 6. Drifting, floating, weightless. Gravity has let go of your muscles. You are just a passenger. 5. Deep silence. The sound of my voice is getting further away, like a radio fading out, like a whisper in a dream. 4. The water is warm, the night is safe, the moon is watching, the sun is waiting, everything is in order. 3. Going deeper, sinking down, past the waves, into the blue. 2. Rest, peace, stillness. The tide is high, the world is full. 1. Let go. 0. The tide is out. The ocean sleeps, and so do you. Drift along the eternal current. The water will hold you. The gravity will guide you. Good night, traveler. Good night to the moon. Good night to the earth. Good night, and deep, deep peace.